Scooter. Check this out. There's anywhere but here, man, on this here podcast.
Oh, I like me some podcasts, man.
What y'all talking about?
We're talking about anywhere but here.
What's anywhere but here? Anywhere but here in Mississippi?
No, man, anywhere but here over in England.
Hey, we ain't in England.
I know, but that's where the England's from.
What?
Hey, Cletus, remember when we went and saw that movie about the wars in the stars and they had like lightsabers and stuff like that? Well, these people here talk about things we like.
Really?
I guarantee.
Well, hot diggity damn. What we waiting for?
Anywhere but here podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Anywhere But Here, episode number 78. Yeah, you can find us at abhpod.com where you can go and click up in the right hand corner just to go through to Amazon. Do your shopping there because you buy everything on Amazon. We know you do. And we get 5% of whatever you buy, which obviously gives us the means to keep going with our podcast, which we know you love.
And you keep downloading it, so...
Yeah, so we're going to keep going.
Yeah. Serves you right. It doesn't change the shopping experience or anything at all.
No.
It's the same Amazon website
Yeah.
as normal. It's just a special little link so they know we sent you. And it does help us. Like Tom said, you can also, on ABH Pod, you can find the relevant links to click on to find us on iTunes or Stitcher and go there and subscribe. I mean, you can play it on the website itself. Mm-hmm. It's a fairly ugly website. So.
Yeah, we don't have time to really do a proper
But
job
we just
on the
need
website.
a central location. But
Yeah.
you can find that and our other podcasts that we do
Indeed.
there as well. And
Yeah.
they've all got their relevant links on their pages.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, if you do go over to those places, comment and rate us.
Review, make sure you subscribe. If you're just listening to this on the website, find your favourite podcast provider, be it iTunes or Stitcher or anything like that, and subscribe there, because then you won't have to keep finding it every week yourself. It will magically appear on your device. You can also interact with us on Facebook at facebook.com/abhpod, where you can find us and post things that are interesting and fluffy
Funny.
kittens and things like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Pictures of Steven Spielberg with dead dinosaurs.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
I love the way we always see the Facebook page with a question. ABH Pod?
Maybe we should just put a question mark at the end of it.
Yeah. No, don't do that, because then the website, I think there's a query.
Yeah.
Hey, tech jargon. You can find us also at ABH Pod on Twitter. You can interact with us in 140 characters or less. Mm-hmm. Or you could email us in long form and stay anonymous if you don't want your name mentioned at abhpod@gmail.com.
Indeed you can. Or you can watch us. You can watch us on our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/abhpodcast.
Yes.
That's where you can see us in all our glory, in all our high def glory.
And subscribe to us over there as well.
Yeah.
And give us a thumbs up on the videos.
Get commenting.
More interactivity means higher on the search results and recommended watches. So do that for us.
It would be nice, thanks. Because we want more listeners and we want more. We're happy with the amount of listeners we've got. We're extremely happy with the amount of listeners we've got.
Very.
Because I couldn't name all of you anymore. It's when
you run out of fingers and toes.
Yeah. So again, thank you for finding us. Thank you for sticking with us for this long. If you have been with us since the beginning, which I know some people have.
Do you know what? I want to find the person or somebody who has listened to every episode on the week it was released. You.
It's me.
You.
I'm afraid. Yeah.
Or not I want to find somebody else who's not us. Well, I haven't actually. I'll stop listening sometimes. Yeah. Fuck quality control. But I want to find out if there's anyone out there other than you that listens to every single episode the week it comes out.
Yeah, let us know from day one. If you've been there since day one.
Every Sunday.
Let us know.
Sometimes Monday. Occasionally a Friday in the beginning. Bloody hell, we didn't we?
Almost sounds like a lyric, that.
Yeah. There's a YouTube video like that.
There isn't there?
I forgot about that one.
On the YouTube channel.
There is, when we were trying to write a new theme.
A proto theme on there. Mm-hmm. But this week we are focusing mainly on food.
This week we are mostly
eating acorns.
My favourite's Bourbon biscuits. Bourbon biscuits.
Jesse's dieting tips.
Yeah.
Go watch the Fast Show if you don't understand
amazing.
that reference. Effectively, we're going to make ourselves ridiculously hungry.
Yeah.
And why not?
Yeah, because we enjoy food.
Yeah, I never really thought of myself as one, but I think I'm a little bit of a foodie. Not to the point where I enjoy cooking at home, but like when I go out, I'm a bit more experimental.
Oh, you're like a food critic.
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't cook but eats a lot of food.
Yeah.
So it's like it's the same as like music and film reviewers. No offense to our friends out there, couldn't make a film, but they know a lot about films.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's how critics work, isn't it?
Effectively.
Yeah.
Those you can't do.
Oh, can I have a ladder, please?
But basically the theory behind this episode, that was too many does, is
I
that
can't cut them out. They're too close together.
is that a few weeks back now. I mean, it's got to be probably over a month back by this point.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Nerd Church were sent.
Well, I think it's Sean's
boss is British.
So he gets sent care packages.
Yeah, and he gave Sean a packet of Monster Munch to eat.
And roast chicken walkers.
Yeah.
I believe it was chicken. I'm sure it was
Possibly.
roast chicken walkers.
Yes, it was. Yeah. And this is a revelation for the Americans. They don't have Monster Munch, which I
was very surprised by that one.
I was shocked, really, because I just assumed that it was a staple. But then, if you think about it, the amount of stuff that we don't get over here that they have had for ages.
Yes,
is
stuff we're starting
quite
to get them as
substantial.
well.
Yeah, stuff like Oreos, for example. We never
Yes.
had them growing up. And
Yeah.
then they came over here and there was a huge hype about them. And
I don't rate them.
I don't get it.
They're bordering on bitter.
Yeah.
The actual biscuit,
Yeah.
I think I don't. My sister absolutely loves them.
They're fine. I've got nothing against them.
Oh,
I
I could sit and eat them,
I wouldn't
but-
choose
No.
them
I
next
believe-
to a digestive or a
Chocolate
or a
hobnob.
Chocolate hobnob. Yeah,
Which sounds rude.
we do like a chocolate hobnob, don't we?
Up the bum. No baby.
Excuse me.
Chocolate hobnob. Was you not going there? I believe the Monster Munch Sean was given was roast beef as well.
Yeah,
Yellow
which
packet.
actually
One of the better flavours.
I prefer the flaming hot.
Yeah.
The flaming
I was
hot
just
is
about to
the
say
daddy.
Actually, the other day on Facebook, one of the mums at school posted, do any of the school mums want 4 packets of Flaming Hot Monster Munch? I'll be at school at 3:15. And I was just about to comment, but I was looking through the rest of the timeline, and then Liz commented and said, I'm sure I had to take them off you. So when I went to pick Chloe up from school, I got handed a bag with 4 packs of Flaming Hot Monster Munch. And they are awesome.
They're great.
amazing. Pickled onion as well. I really like the pickled onion
The
ones.
pickled onions, what Sean's boss should have done is given them the pickled onion ones.
That wouldn't have gone down so well,
Because
I don't think.
they make your face implode.
They're very British.
Yeah, it's very sharp.
Yeah, it's very sharp flavour.
Yeah, they make your face pucker up. They're great though.
I do really like them.
Monster Munch has been a
mouth's starting to
staple.
water.
Yeah, Monster Munch has been a staple of my snacking since childhood.
How do you eat them? Do you bite the toes off and
Yeah,
then
I
eat the ring,
used to-
or do you bite the bottom of the ring and then snap
No,
the toes?
I used to eat the toes and then the ring.
Oh, okay.
That was how I did it.
Yeah.
Because they're in the shape of a paw, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a monster's
ring.
paw, isn't it? Yeah. It's four toes with a ring
Yeah.
that you're supposed to hold and eat the toe.
Yeah.
But occasionally I will bite the bottom of the ring half.
I've got to say, as I've grown older, I tend to just eat them whole
Just
now because I'm impatient.
Straight in the food.
There's less life ahead of me now.
Monster's
So
food in my mouth. Yeah, Flaming Hot Monster Munch probably my favourite. I do the roast beef are a very close second. I do like them. They're a nice full, rich flavour.
Yeah.
That I do like that, which is why I really enjoy the roast chicken walkers that they had.
Yes, because they actually do taste like roast chicken, whereas
Yeah.
some of the Walker's flavours don't really.
Salt and vinegar.
Yeah, it's a
Can't
bit.
really taste the salt.
No, it's just vinegary,
Yeah.
isn't it? Cheese and onion. There's not a lot of cheese in cheese and onion. I find it's more
No.
oniony than
But
cheesy.
now they've got the cheddar cheese and bacon flavour, the new
Really?
ones. Yeah,
Ooh, not
they
seen
are
them.
very nice. Cheddar cheese and bacon. They're the yellow packet. You get them in the meat feast pack.
Oh yeah,
It's two varieties of pack you can get.
Yeah.
which is you get the original, which has got your ready salted salt and vinegar, cheese and onion, and prawn cocktail, I believe, is the last one. And the meaty one is roast chicken, smoky bacon, cheese and bacon, and prawn cocktail, I believe.
Yeah.
Because prawn cocktail is just...
It's great.
I love...
It's one of my favourites. Although my absolute favourite Walker's Crisps flavour is Worcester sauce.
No, Worcester sauce is in the meaty
Is
flavour.
it?
Actually,
Oh,
it's
right.
in the... I'm not sure. No, they are very
purple
good.
packet.
They're not my favourite, but they are... I do really like them. But
I like
that's something I've grown to like.
Yeah. It's an acquired taste, is Worcester sauce. Sorry, the dog is backing away from the door. I don't know, he scared himself.
I've never, like, Walkers didn't do it, but I've never been into tomato ketchup flavoured crisps.
Don't
I
really
think
see
that's
the
very
point.
British
They're
as well,
fine,
isn't
They're
it?
fine. But I quite like Marmite crisps as well, the Marmite flavour they brought out.
Strangely, Marmite crisps, I love. Marmite, I hate.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And I love Twiglets as well, which are Marmite flavoured.
That's also quite strange, yeah.
Yeah, I like Twiglets, I like Marmite crisps. I don't like Marmite. I think it's one of those things, it's like Marmite and bread, that combination does not do it for me.
Right, yeah.
But it works as... I'm a crisp fiend.
Yeah.
Anything I can pick at, like
I've had to
peanuts,
wean
crisps.
myself off crisps. During my student days, I could quite easily get through a multi-pack in a couple of days.
Yeah.
You know.
I gave up crisps for Lent, didn't I?
Oh, of course you did.
40
Yeah,
days and 40
I'd
nights.
forgotten about that.
Because it was the
of-
day I went to work. I had crisps for my lunch. Before I went to work, I had a packet of crisps at the end of my shift and a pack of crisps when I got home.
Yeah.
It was just like, that's too much.
Yeah.
Like, I had 2 packs of crisps in the space of an hour, and it's like, if you eat too many, apparently you get cancer. Do you remember that?
I think
That came out,
too much of anything gives you cancer,
apparently.
I think.
But yeah, crisps is my downfall. And biscuits.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's all about crisps, really. I don't know. I just realised that I don't have any in the house, and I'm
we've
going
got
to have to go
loads.
and get some now.
We've got a multi-pack of Walkers, we've got some hula hoops, and I've got my 4 packs of Monster Munch.
Yeah, the only
And some
decent
Snacker
crisps to
Jacks,
have
which aren't
really
crisps, but-
are McCoys, though. McCoys are the daddy of crisps.
Deep Ridge. Do you like the Deep Ridge ones? You know, you can get the new big packs
Yeah,
with the Deep
yeah.
Ridge. They're good. How do you eat your McCoys?
Not line by line. It's too
Oh, I
time
do.
consuming. Again, there's too little time ahead of me on this earth now to.
I'm a line by line with my McCoys.
Yeah.
Some of the time, because what I do, I always buy a pack of McCoys out of the vending machine at work at the end of my shift when I'm on late, and it sits between my legs, and I just munch them as I'm driving home.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with crisps.
We found a new
God.
addiction, haven't we? We
It's
found
bad, isn't it?
a new thing.
It's really bad. But at work, we don't have. Occasionally, we have the flame grilled steak, which are
The best.
the daddy.
Yeah.
Their
all-
cheese and onion, their cheddar and onion
It's
are
great,
amazing.
and their salt and vinegar is so sharp.
Yeah, the ready salted is really salty. But in work, we generally have. What do we have? We have Thai sweet chili, which are they're really nice.
Sizzling king prawn.
And sizzling king prawn's the other one, which
They've
is
started bringing
very
out
strong. The sizzling
yeah.
king prawn.
They've started bringing out a jacket potato set of stuff where you
Really?
can get cheese and bacon, and you can get.
Oh, I wouldn't do that on a
chili
jacket
con
potato.
carne.
Cheese and beans on a jacket potato,
Yeah.
not cheese.
It's
and
the
bacon.
best thing. Cheese and beans on a jacket.
Put the jacket, a baked potato for anyone that doesn't know what a jacket
Yeah,
potato
yeah.
is. Baked potato, slice in half, bit of margarine or butter, ruffle it up, beans on top, and then sprinkle the cheese over the beans.
Yeah, it's always cheese last. Has to be.
Sprinkle the cheese over the beans.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, I agree. We're in agreement.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of other kind of childhood favourites from back in the day that aren't really around anymore. You used to get those Smith's crisps, didn't you, with the bag of salt that you put in yourself?
Salt and shake.
Salt and shake.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were quite.
So
That
because
was a weird concept, isn't it?
now, over in the UK, as a child, you always called ready salted crisps. You always called them plain,
Yes.
but they weren't. They were
No.
salted. Now,
Smith's crisps were actually plain and they-
you added the
Yeah.
salt.
Yeah,
They were
that's true.
literally just baked potato chips,
Yeah.
fried slices.
Yeah, I don't know whether I ever used to try them without the salt. You know.
I did. It's not nice.
No, I can imagine.
It's not nice. But then the salt doesn't stick properly because the salt is supposed to be cooked into the crisps when they're still moist,
Yes.
which is a popular word among lots of people.
Yeah, I mean it's it was an interesting concept. I don't think you see them so much anymore.
It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting actually because we keep mentioning crisp. We keep mentioning names of products.
Yeah.
Like we know Marmite, they don't get in the US.
No, this is true.
I mentioned Twiglets, and I see you've just put British snack food in. There's a picture of Twiglets. Do they get Twiglets?
Is that a specifically British thing? Twiglets are like, I don't really know how to describe them.
Are they corn?
I don't know. I've never. They're like baked.
Twiglets.
Yeah, they're just Twiglets, aren't they? They look like twigs.
Yeah.
They probably would taste like bark if you took off the Marmite flavour.
They're caked in Marmite.
Yeah, they're really good.
They are.
I mean, I'd imagine most of the Cadbury stuff they have over there, don't they?
They don't have Cadbury chocolate, do they?
Oh, it is British, isn't it? Yeah.
They don't have Cadbury chocolate.
So they've missed out on stuff like fudge and crunchy.
To be fair, they don't have chocolate.
No, this is true, yeah. Because the stuff that comes over from their country, like Hershey's, is not real chocolate, is it? It's soy-based.
I don't know what it is.
Milk-based or something, isn't it?
I think it's milk chocolate, but I think there's very little cocoa in it.
Yeah. Just something about it.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever actually had a Hershey's.
I've tried Hershey's. They're fine. They just, I don't know. There's something about Cadbury's chocolate that is just
So rich.
Yeah.
Really flavourful. Oh, the only American chocolate that I've had, and I'm so glad it's now over here, is Reese's. Because like I said to you before, like chocolate and peanut butter is a no-brainer.
Well, yeah.
If I go into a
makes
shop
total sense.
and I think I want a bar of chocolate, and it's a choice between chocolate or peanut butter and chocolate, I'm like a child.
Oh, I mean, there's no way. If I go for a chocolate bar, because I'm not really a chocolate person, that's why I keep mentioning crisps.
I'm not at all. I'm a very savoury, but I do chocolate and peanut butter wins.
I get a craving for it, you know, and when I do, it's got to be the Kit Kat Chunky peanut.
Peanut butter or peanut?
The peanut butter one.
Yeah, the yellow pack.
Yeah, that's right.
Kit Kat Chunky peanut butter. That I was just about to mention that.
Yeah. One of the best confection inventions
That's
of the last decade, easily.
It's chocolate and peanut butter.
Yeah, exactly.
Stick that shit together.
And just
lather me in it.
Yeah. Stick a fork in.
I'm done.
Yeah, but I just wonder whether, what is out there for them? What else are they missing out on? I mean, do they have Panda Pops? Did they have Panda Pops?
The stuff is shit, isn't it?
It's awful.
It's amazing.
But as a kid, it was like bright blue bubblegum flavoured
the bubblegum
pop that turned your entire mouth blue.
Yes, the Cherryade.
Yeah, was
Limeade.
bright red.
Their cola was like the difference between Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Like Coca-Cola's superior, Pepsi's a bit. Or you're a Pepsi.
No, I'm a Coke man.
What am I talking about? Of course you
Come
are.
on, you know me for this.
So you got the difference between that. It's like that again, but with Pepsi being the king and then Panda Pops being the Pepsi.
Yeah.
It's terrible,
Yeah,
flavourless
it's awful,
cola.
But when you were a kid, it was brightly coloured and you wanted it.
It's brilliant, Panda Pops, and they were like what 10, 15p a bottle. But I mean, they were only like tiny.
They were really small. But yeah, by no means am I saying that our confection is superior. It's just all I know. And it's interesting to think that, like, my initial reaction was like, Jesus, they haven't had Monster Munch. Like, that has not been part of their lives.
So surprised
that
about
shocked me because it's been such an integral part of my childhood is Monster Munch. It's been there forever, you know. And they had adverts where they were human-sized puppets on the screen.
Yes, they were.
They were like Muppets at the beginning.
They were big Muppets, yeah.
Before they became all cartoony and weird, and then they've gone back to their classic look.
You don't get the ads for them anymore, really,
no,
do you?
You don't. It's a shame. The old school Monster Munch ads. Maybe I'll put one in the show notes. Maybe I'll put one on the blog.
That's a good idea
because that is part of my childhood.
Yeah, that episode of Nerd Church also brought up the question when they said about the walkers. And they said, "Oh, what is that? They look like Lays."
Yeah.
Now this is the thing I've always wondered about with Lays, because the packet design is the same.
Yeah, it's got the kind of red circle with the yellow sash going.
Yellow circle with a red sash.
Oh, is it?
I believe. Either way.
Yeah.
Yes, yellow circle with a red sash. I'm sure it is. But hey,
yeah, you probably
doesn't matter. But like the first time I saw that was when I went when I went abroad for the first time. We went to Mallorca. and we brought a pack of Lay's. And
I was
they're
gonna
like
say-
cheap Walkers. In fact, it's the same.
Yeah, they're the same.
I did
brand,
ask
aren't
Google
they?
because I've always wanted to know the answer. And apparently Frito-Lay, which isn't Frito, that's Spanish? Frito?
Yeah, I think so.
Frito-Lay is a US-based potato and corn chip company created in 1938 by PepsiCo.
Oh, right.
So they're actually
See, I
owned
didn't
by
know
Pepsi.
that. I didn't realise they were a PepsiCo company.
No. And in 1991, Pepsi brought Henry Walker's Crisp, and Walker's became Lay's British sister company. So it is the same company.
But it's just
owned
it's
by
the
Pepsi.
name. The name is the British connection.
Yeah.
Whereas everywhere else, it's just Lay's.
Yeah. So it's actually owned by Pepsi as well, which is
Yeah.
strange. Like Pepsi done something right.
They kept the British name. I think if you tried to rebrand Walkers, there would be an absolute outcry.
But yeah, but Snickers and Marathon.
Yeah, I know, but I think
By the way,
it was,
Snickers.
Yeah. Awesome chocolate bar. It was like Opal Fruits going to Starburst, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
like it hasn't changed anything, I don't think. But I think
Starburst were
if you
amazing.
tried to change the name of Walkers, I think there would be public outcry because it's such
The king of the crisp.
an institution. Even though you only get 33% of crisps in the bag,
It is
and that's what I don't like.
disgraceful.
I'd
It's
rather
mostly
you shrink
air.
the size of the bag.
Save on packaging.
Yeah, I'd rather
Be an
that.
environmental company,
It
Pepsi.
would feel like you'd have more.
It would, wouldn't
Whereas
it?
you
Yeah.
open up and you're like, there's 5 crisps in this bag. You know,
How do you eat your Walkers?
Yorkers.
How do you eat your Walkers?
Oh, Walkers, sorry. I was like, what's a Yorker?
A crisp at a time or a stack of crisp?
Depends on,
How quick
yeah.
you want to get it done.
Yeah, it depends. Normally I try to do one at a time.
Savour
But
it.
occasionally I'm just too impatient.
There's only one, like when you're talking about just normal potato chip, sort of like crisp.
Yeah.
There's only one brand and flavour of that brand that I've ever had that it beats Walker's.
Right.
And that
Is
is
it
the
kettle chips?
No, it's the Tesco,
Right.
not the Tesco Value, the Tesco Select.
Right.
So the coloured packets, their cheese and onion is
Okay.
better than the Walker's cheese and
Is
onion.
it now?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's not their value, it's their premium value. It's the middle one.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're better.
I see. Maybe I'll have to take a trip to Tesco to try this out. But do you think also on the line of crisps, because you know it seems to be the only thing, Whatsits?
As a kid, I loved them.
Yeah, not anymore though.
Same with Skips,
Yeah,
because I like the melt on the tongue.
and Frazzles.
Frazzles I still like. But the reason I liked Whatsits and Skips is because they melted on the tongue.
Yeah,
And it was
they
fun
were
when you were a
soft,
kid.
weren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah. Skips were kind of a prawn cocktail flavoured.
Umbrella,
Yeah,
parachute type
Yeah.
looking thing.
and they were more in line with like a Chinese cracker than a
Yeah, it wasn't
a prawn
potato, was
cracker.
it? It was
Yeah.
corn. I think they're a corn snack.
Yeah. And Whatsits are these weird. They're like Cheetos, effectively.
But less
These-
dense.
Yeah, these
There's a lot more-
aerated,
There's a lot more air in those than the fruit.
aerated, horrifically powdered
Orange.
orange puffs of corn
Yeah.
that would leave your fingers dyed a
Orange, yeah.
nuclear orange
For a day or
for
two.
days afterwards. But do you remember they started bringing out other flavours because it was just cheese? They were just
Yeah,
cheesy
cheesy
Whatsits.
Whatsits.
But then they started bringing out stuff like prawn cocktail as well, didn't they? They started bringing out a prawn.
Vaguely
version.
remember. I don't think I ever had them.
No, they were quite good. So I want some of the Americans, and I know that they will chip in because you know
I'm
they're
sure they've
quite
got
a,
some snacks that we don't.
yeah,
have. I mean,
and-
they've still got nerds and dweebs. We have to pay like
yeah,
£6 a box
we
for
gotta
them
pay
in
a
an
premium on
imported
that.
sweet shop.
They were great, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were a Wonka thing, weren't they?
Yes.
Nerds, dweebs, and
What was the other one?
there were gobstoppers, weren't there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't get gobstoppers anymore. Do we?
Nope.
Jawbreakers.
Nope.
Fucking.
Shocking.
Yeah, so
But it's only because all these things are horrifically bad for you that the British,
that's why it stopped. That's like
food
Mountain Dew
standards,
that's come
yeah.
over. They've had to strip out some of the chemical.
and they have to
It's not an
advertise it
energy
as a yeah, that's right. They had to when it still had all the
Yes.
the stuff in it, but now they've had to take all that stuff out, so it's just a soft drink,
Yes.
and it
Yeah,
doesn't taste.
it doesn't. It's not the same.
Nah.
I remember when it first came over, I loved it. The second time I had it, I was trying
Yeah.
to keep myself awake on the way home from a gig.
Yeah.
It didn't work. Well,
Not
I mean,
at
it did
all.
work because I was driving a car and I wouldn't be here if it didn't work. Actually, no, it didn't work, so I had to go to the next roadside thing and buy a coffee. And that was when I wasn't a coffee drinker,
Right.
but I had to buy a coffee because I had to stay awake.
Yeah.
And that was the Milton Keynes gig, Foo Fighters, when we got stuck in
Okay.
traffic and it took us like 8-9 hours to get home from Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
And it's like an hour and a half away.
Yeah, I discovered Relentless, luckily, on the drive home from Scotland from Tea in the Park one time. That was the only thing that made sure I survived coming home, being the sole driver coming down from Scotland after a gig where I'd had
You were the
virtually
only...
no sleep.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So I've actually got a list of 18 things you'll miss if you're a Brit in America. Now, this isn't only food related, so I'm going to skip the other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go with the food stuff.
Okay.
So you've got Hershey's, no. Dairy milk, yes. Because dairy
Clearly,
milk.
Cadbury's is.
Because Cadbury, yeah. Plus, we like junk food, but you guys take it too far. Now, there's a box of DiGiorno pizza and cookies in one box.
I hope they're separate. They are, aren't they?
I mean, they're separate, I imagine, yeah, and you just kind of cook them both at the same time.
Why
so.
would pizza and cookies don't go together for
Dessert?
me? Maybe, but
Appetizer?
I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah.
That.
You've got travelling time, obviously. What's the next one? Bacon. Now, you don't do bacon.
It's true. I've been to America a few times. And,
I think they're well aware of this now, aren't they?
Yeah, bacon out there is not bacon like we have bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon. Oh.
So, last year or the year before when Kevin Smith came over and he had bacon, proper bacon.
Thick cut.
And he was like, that stuff's amazing.
Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah, it's the only thing that can pull you back from a hangover.
It does work.
It's the only thing.
Did they have streaky bacon?
Yeah, it's kind of streaky bacon
Fat.
and they fry it to like these little tiny crispy rashers.
So it looks like jerky.
Yeah, and it's not the proper way to be done. My bacon, I only very lightly fry it. I have to have it. I like it still meaty.
You like chewy fat?
Yeah.
No, I like it when the fat's just crisped.
Yeah.
Liz has to have it dead crispy, she calls it.
No, I really like it almost raw.
No, I couldn't do that.
It's got to just turn.
No, I can't. No, I can't have it. I can't have it pink. It's got to go a deep pink. I can't have it. I don't know. I have to have I crisp up the fat on the edges. Now, are you a ketchup? Or
No,
a
I'm a
HP?
HP sauce.
Oh my god!
Come on, brown sauce is the best.
No.
Yeah, and HP rather than Daddy's.
Yeah, Daddy's. Yeah, it's the same with Daddy's ketchup. It's
This
no
is
good. Heinz ketchup.
This is a condiment that, again, I think some of the Americans that we know they're aware of.
Yeah.
It's great.
No, it's
It's
not.
the best thing ever. It's kind of
It's vinegar, isn't it?
It's vinegary. It's got fruit in there. There's apples and there's stuff like the little fish, anchovies, and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of
explains
like
a lot.
Worcestershire sauce and then some extra bits.
That's just so
Oh,
wrong,
it's
that
so
stuff.
good. It's the most amazing sauce ever. I very rarely have ketchup on anything but chips.
Fries.
No, chips. Proper
Because they're
thick cut,
chipped potatoes.
thick cut steak chips.
Yeah. And what if you cook them in the oven? They're not fries.
No, it's true. But the fry is the thinly cut chip,
Yeah,
isn't it? That's
French
what a
fries.
fry is. Yeah.
French fries, yeah.
Like, I'm talking about chip shop chips.
Yeah.
And that's something that you miss as well, being
Chip
in
shop
America.
chips.
You can't get fish and chips, proper fish and chips out there.
No, are you a bread or a French stick with your bacon or a crusty roll?
I like a baguette.
Yeah.
I do like a bacon
The
baguette.
baguette is the premium.
Yeah,
I will have a sandwich.
yeah,
Like a just
yeah.
slices of bread.
I'll put up with a sandwich,
Yeah.
but the best thing to do is have like half a baguette filled
Yes,
with bacon,
yes. Yes.
and possibly with some sausages thrown in there as well for good measure.
Oh no, I wouldn't have the two together.
Yeah.
Too much. I see. The thing is, I like meat, but
Yeah.
again, I don't
I'm a
like too much meat.
No, I'm a complete.
I'm sure we've done this
carnivore.
before.
Yeah, I think we might have done. I'm a complete carnivore when it comes to meat. I love anything.
They confuse milk. Just call it full fat skimmed or semi skimmed.
Right.
Don't call it 2% and half and half. What's half and half?
Oh yeah, I don't
Half of
understand that. Yeah.
And half of what?
Yeah.
Fat free half and half. I would have assumed half and half meant like half fat, but then it's called fat free half and half.
Yeah.
So what is it?
I don't know.
Somebody needs to explain that to us.
Yeah. Yeah, get in touch.
Yeah, and you've got pasteurised and unpasteurised as well, haven't you? Over there, we got rid of that years ago.
Years
didn't
ago,
we?
yeah, it's literally just skimmed, semi-skimmed, or
And full fat.
Full fat.
Or blue top, green top, red top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy. Roast dinner.
Yeah.
Every Sunday.
Almost.
Well, yeah. Not in the summer so much.
Nah.
It's a winter thing.
It is definitely a winter thing. Every single Sunday we have a roast here. Oh, look at it.
I know.
It's beautiful.
You got your cauliflower. Yeah. Why would you usually in your carrots?
I don't know.
Sliced carrots.
Yeah.
You got your nice roast potatoes. You got what's that? You got a bit of beef. Nice.
That looks like a roast beef. Yeah.
Roast beef because you got Yorkshire puddings.
Yeah, and dark gravy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we just do gravy, bisto. Now, see, Yorkshire puddings is something you're only supposed to have with beef, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. And technically, the Yorkshire pudding properly should be massive and have everything
plate-sized,
in it.
yeah.
But obviously, we have these tiny little ones now, and they're fine on their own. I tend to fill them with gravy.
Yes. Yeah, you got to have the soft bottom. You got to have the soft bottom Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah, they're great. They're like a well, what we were saying just before we went on air, wasn't it?
It's a batter.
They're kind of a batter. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. They're great. They're brilliant. You know.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. And roast potatoes have to be crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside.
Yeah.
They just don't work otherwise.
Definitely. And the thing is with Yorkshire pudding, like I say, traditionally it's a beef roast dinner, but we tend to have it with everything.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I've probably had it with lamb in the past.
I don't have lamb. I don't like lamb.
Do you not?
No.
Oh, man, you're missing out.
There's an aftertaste to it that I don't like.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's too chewy as well, I think. The one I had
Depends.
was maybe
No,
it was
yeah,
wrong.
see, that's my problem with pork, actually, is that you can overcook it. It can become too chewy and dry.
Yeah, pork chops, I did grow up and they were overdone a lot of the time.
But what we tend to do here is we slow roast pretty much everything for 4 or 5 hours. So when it comes out, it's just falling apart.
Yes,
it's tender.
that's the way you do it. Are you hungry?
Yeah, I've got a pork joint in the fridge, actually.
you bastard.
Yeah. But
Um,
then we wouldn't be able to have it until about 7 o'clock if we were
Well,
doing
if
it
you're going
right,
to cook
you
it
know?
now. And we did start, I did mention tea, but Tom's not a tea drinker. He's
Yeah,
not
I
a
don't
hot
drink hot drinks at all. It's just something intrinsically wrong in my mind about hot drinks.
When you said it, I did think, yeah, hot drinks are a bit weird, aren't they? But
It's kind of oxymoronic, but I don't know.
I'm a fiend for tea.
I mean, I have had tea and coffee and hot chocolate in the past,
Yeah.
but just something about it I don't like.
Yeah, I actually sent, ages ago, last year, I actually sent Sean an email telling him how to make a proper British tea.
This is true, you did, didn't you?
And I fall in the camp of you take the tea bag out before you put the milk in.
Yeah.
You put the tea bag and the sugar in the
Yeah.
cup. You add hot water because that kicks up the sugar so
Yeah.
the sugar gets evenly distributed. You don't put the sugar in after the water because then it all sinks to the bottom. If the sugar's in there as you're pouring it, it stirs up the sugar and
Okay.
it dissolves evenly in the tea. It's a science, tea making. And then you dunk it a couple of times, the tea bag, you push it down to stir it.
Yeah,
You pull it out, you give it a squeeze to drain it, you add the milk and you stir it. And that's your proper British tea.
It makes sense
You're
to
a
me.
Neanderthal if you do it any other way. Liz does milk and then takes the tea bag out. And it's just never the same.
No, I don't get that. You would put the milk in afterwards. I always did. Because the thing is, like...
Then you
you've
know
got
the strength.
Well, no, and also, if you take the tea bag out, the water level drops. So
Yes.
if you don't fill it with... If you don't have it correctly filled, you'd end up with less.
Yes, I know I do tend to get a lot less in my mug
Yeah.
than I should.
And that's what I've made tea for people
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
but I think I always used to put the sugar in last of all.
No, you put the sugar.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you can,
never-
if you do it the very last thing, if you're only doing
Stir
one
around.
teaspoon of
Yeah.
sugar,
Give it a good
because
old
I have
stir.
two, I'm a bit of a sweet
Oh,
tooth when
fair
it comes to
enough.
that. If you only do one tea bag, you can put it in and stir at the same time. If you're doing two, you're going to have to put one in as you get the next one, and then it will sink. Because you don't want to put one in, stir it, and then put the teaspoon back in the sugar.
You are a
Because then you
proper
clump
advocate of
the
this,
sugar.
aren't you?
Fucking tea.
Jesus.
Do it right, people.
Yeah, see, this maybe is another reason why I think I've realised today that I don't have time, or I don't
doesn't
feel
take long.
or I feel that I don't have time for all this. Like eating the toes off things, I'll just be like,
Yeah. Come on. Is there any more food on this list? I don't know if there is. Cigarettes? No, get away. No. So I'm just flying through. Yes, Britain is old. I don't think there's any more food.
No.
Yeah, and what is it with Americans thinking we drink warm beer?
Yeah, I don't know, because like ale is supposed to be served at kind of room temperature, but not really that. It's yeah.
And there's differentiating ale, stout,
And
beer.
yeah, they're all. I mean, stout,
they're all beers, aren't they?
Stout can be served at a cold temperature as well. Guinness have proved this.
Yeah. Are they all beers? But you've got lager, stout, and ale.
Lager, stout, and ale. They're all beer related. It's just it's a difference in the brewing methods and what ingredients are put in them and how they're brewed. Basically, it's quite complex, but essentially lager has to be cold because
it's even better if it's in a chilled glass.
Yeah, mainly because if lager gets warm, it tastes like arse.
Yeah,
it's horrible warm. Ale is supposed to be served in a slightly less cool state because it has flavour. Unlike lager, the flavour of lager is not.
I like lager. Maybe I like the refreshing part of lager.
It's more to do with refreshment rather than taste, whereas ale is more about taste, so it has to be slightly less cool.
Yeah.
So that you get all the different tastes, because again, it can be brewed with 3 or 4 different hops, and they all have their own individual taste. Whereas stout is kind of right up the other end of bitter. To the point where it's almost burnt.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
It's beautiful.
I am very lager is the only one that does it for me. I've had a cider doesn't do it for me.
No, I go through phases with cider.
Have I had an ale? What's Tanglefoot?
That is an ale.
I've had that. I didn't like it the first time I had it. I had it more recently, and I actually quite enjoyed it.
It's quite hoppy, that as well. It's quite a light one.
See, I wouldn't know.
Well, it's basically it's
a good entry.
Yeah,
I'm sure the first time I had it, I said it tasted like feet.
Yeah, it's the thing is with ale, it's one of those things that you've got to acquire the taste for over time.
Yeah. Is it worth it? If you have to acquire a taste for something, is it worth it?
I think so, because it opens
it's like
you
I don't really like it, but I'm used to it now, so
it
doesn't make me like cringe every time it touches my tongue.
The thing with ale is like there are so many different types and so many artisan breweries and all the rest of it doing their own individual things that you can go to any town, even really any village, and there'll be an independent brewery.
Yeah,
you know,
actually there are a lot.
Whereas lager,
Kent especially, has a lot of breweries, independent breweries.
Whereas lager, you don't tend to get that so much. You do get independent lagers made by these independent brewers, but it's not as widely received because lager generally has one taste.
Do you know what I've just realised?
What's that?
How I am about tea, you're about.
Oh yeah.
Alcohol.
I should be a card carrying member of CAMRA at this point.
What's CAMRA?
Campaign for Real Ale.
Oh, okay.
You know those old farts who go round with a scorecard to the pubs, and you see them sat in the corner, and they do the tasting. They have their tankards. I have a tankard.
Maybe you should team up with someone else who does that and do like a podcast.
Yeah,
I think somebody's done that somewhere podcast. Actually, or was it TV program? Who was it? Was it James May? No.
Oh no, it was Neil Morrissey. And,
yes. Yeah, because he was doing his own brew.
Yeah,
and he went and tried.
Yeah, that wasn't bad actually. That we had that in the pub that I worked in.
Okay.
For a while, Morrissey Fox.
Is it still around?
His name was Fox. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Not sure.
But
that was beer.
You're an advocate for beer. I'm an advocate for tea. Like, I can taste the difference between different blends of tea.
Who's gonna die first?
Hey?
Who's gonna die first? It's probably gonna be me. Let's face it. Beer is not good for you in large quantities.
Caffeine as well. There's barely any caffeine in tea anyway.
Nah.
But I have started getting into coffee as well.
Ah, right.
When getting into it, I'm not a fucking like a. I'm not
fiend.
I'm not at that level. I like a coffee, one coffee a day.
Yeah. I've found a thing where certain cuisines are not as foreign as you might imagine. In fact, they're British creations, including lasagna.
That is surprising.
Which I didn't actually know until I read this. But In 2003, researchers at the British Museum noted that a 14th century cookbook, The Frome of Curry, popular during the time of Richard III, features a dish called Luseyn, Loseyn,
Right.
made up of sheets of pasta topped with cheese.
Interesting.
So that the basis of the lasagna
is
is
British.
a British thing.
Or is it something that
I think
somebody
it's
went
something
over to
that's
Italy?
Slightly kind of lasagna-ish has been brought back, and I don't think it was an exact lasagna.
Yeah, I
was it?
think that's stretching a bit, isn't
Yeah.
it?
But the chicken tikka masala, and in fact most curry types are British. Vindaloo was not a thing before
Yeah.
the British Empire. Tikka masala is not a staple Indian dish, nor is
Yeah, I think that's probably a product of, like you say, the empire. We took ingredients over there that, like the Indian culture, they actually put into their curries.
yeah.
So that's how the curries came about. It's not like it's a British influenced curry rather
Yeah.
than it was a Brit that came up with it.
Yeah, I mean,
think.
legend has it that it was invented at a restaurant called the Shish Mahal in Glasgow when a patron of the restaurant asked for some gravy to go with his chicken tikka.
Okay, perhaps it is British then, and I was just talking out my arse.
And the chef improvised a sauce with a can of tomato soup, cream and spices, and that was the masala sauce. That went on
Indian
the chicken
chef,
tikka.
but in Glasgow.
Yeah. So, that's an English thing. I actually knew most of that because, again, most of the Indian curries are named after provinces of India, like Balti and
Yeah.
and all the rest of it, and it's the ones like the tikka masala, it's the ones like vindaloo that weren't. It's catering for a British sensibility.
Have you actually heard, on that subject of curries, have you ever heard the myth or the thing that the only reason that the Indian curries are being made so spicy is because the Brits want it spicy?
Yeah, that's right.
They want it more spicy, so they keep adding spice. That's a load of bollocks.
Oh, really?
Because I work in a multicultural factory, and there's a
They
guy,
love
he's
it.
Pakistani, but
Yeah.
obviously the food is all influenced, and we've got Indians there as well. But he's Pakistani. He's like, we're going to start making some food, and you can, like, I'll bring it in Friday. You can take it home and eat it. And it was just like onion bhajis and samosas. I was like, yeah, cool. I'll have a couple. So he brought them in. He went, yeah, they're not that spicy. Don't worry about it. Fucking blow your head off.
Yeah. It is a bit of a fallacy.
The reason they say it's more spicy for the Brits is because we're not used to it.
That's right,
They've
yeah.
been growing up and they eat spicy
Yeah,
food
well,
every day.
the spice thing is it's a preservative, isn't it? That was the reason it was first used, is because
really?
obviously they didn't have electricity to be able to store meat in a cooled environment.
Without
so what they
it
would do,
breeding bacteria.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what they would do is cover it in hot spices so bacteria couldn't form. It's a preservative.
Bad choice for preserving.
Yeah,
really, isn't it?
yeah. So like you say, it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
The apple pie is British. Apparently.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought any other. I know
Well,
Americans
it's
love.
associated with America, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, it's again, it's in that frome of curry, the tartis in appelis, where the filling sat in a pastry coffin that was meant to be eaten. So I would have imagined that anyway. Really, I mean, we're big on our apple production again,
Yes.
especially in Kent.
Oh yeah.
It's just it's something
love an
that
apple.
it's something that went to America with the immigrants
Yeah.
or the settlers.
Oh, even if it was invented in America, it's still British because
Yeah.
we colonised America. It's kind of
Apparently, the haggis is English and not Scottish.
the haggis is wrong.
The haggis
Doesn't
is
matter
wrong.
where it was
I've
in-
never had it, mind you, but I just don't like the idea of it. It's
No.
the because did you ever used to watch the Earthworm Jim cartoon?
Yeah, once or twice, yeah.
He had a little sidekick called Peter the puppy
Yes.
who would turn into a raging Hulk beast
Yeah.
if he mentioned haggis, because he just didn't like the fact that it's a sheep heart, liver, and lungs
In a sheep's belly.
in a sheep's belly. And then you had to tickle him to turn him back down to Peter the puppy.
Fucking earthworm, Jim.
But yeah, apparently in 2009, a food historian called Catherine Brown found reference to haggis in English cookery from 1615, which is a whole 132 years before the first Scottish reference to the delicacy.
Just because they didn't write about
this
it
is
doesn't
it,
mean
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
historians.
I know. It's
Sorry,
all, it's
but
all
just because they
one-sided.
didn't write it somewhere doesn't mean.
Yeah, apparently the Cornish pasty is from Devon and not Cornwall.
Oh.
No idea how they've managed to figure that one out, but apparently it was first found in Plymouth in 1509, whereas the first mention in Cornwall comes from 1746.
Some historian came up with that, I should think.
Yeah,
But anyway.
don't care.
But-
They're another great
Cornish
British.
pasties. Amazing.
But apparently fish and chips aren't English at all. They're not ours. It's all over the place. France, Spain, Portugal.
How?
Because beer battered fish was first popularised by Jewish refugees from Portugal and Spain in the 1800s.
Oh,
Apparently.
okay.
So they brought it over here, the deep frying technique that
Right.
Scots people now use to eat Mars bars.
Yeah. I would try that.
I'd give it a go, but I don't think I'd enjoy it.
Apparently, you
I'm not
can
sure.
take like certain fish and chip shops. You can actually take a Mars bar in and ask them to do it.
Yeah, apparently so.
I don't know if so much now. I imagine when they were owned by English. I'm not. They would do it. I don't think like what is it? Turkish own a lot of fish and chip shops now. Greek. Around Maidstone, I think the Greek family owns quite a few.
Yeah,
But,
it's yeah, and they're really good.
They are amazing. Merinos.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, but I suppose they'd be alright for doing it actually. But like, there's one round the corner from me. I think they're Turkish. I could be wrong, but I think you'd ask them to do it, and they'd be like, "What? Why would you want to do that?"
Yeah.
I'd give it a go. Fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Because it doesn't melt the chocolate because of the way that the batter insulates the Mars bar.
That's
doesn't
right. So it is a chocolate bar inside.
So it's been
paste,
cooked like above
inside
boiling.
batter.
it?
Yeah.
Above boiling temperature, and I don't know. There's got here. See, I've gone for the British versus American.
Yeah,
So
I didn't do British versus American. I
No,
subverted
I
it.
am because I know I cater for our audience. We're Americans, but 7 British food habits Americans will never
Don't
understand.
pander to the Americans, Anne. I've been
Sorry.
told off for doing that before. Fucking knob.
All right, sorry. Fucking
No,
hell.
not you.
No, I said that to you as well.
Did you?
Yeah, about video games.
Oh, I didn't mean
You're
that.
talking about soccer.
Yeah, I am. No, I would never say that to you.
I was like, well, fucking hell. So yeah, the habits that you'll never understand. Marmite. I've already given my stance on Marmite. I'm not a fan unless it's a crisp.
It's really nice.
Meals on toast. So what we're putting everything on toast. The go-to light meal for any British is beans or eggs on toast. Still not adopted in America, despite recent Anglophilic trends. Apparently, they don't put a lot of stuff on toast, like beans,
Really?
cheese. Oh, they do cheese toasties. They must do.
Yeah. I mean, the
did-
national dish of Wales is pretty much cheese on toast, isn't
Yeah.
it? The Welsh rarebit
Yeah.
is effectively cheese on toast.
Yeah, so beans on toast is amazing. Spaghetti
on-
hoops on toast. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can have pretty much anything on toast.
Scrambled egg.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh. Love a bit of scrambled egg on toast. Because I'm not a fan of egg.
Well, this
egg
is
yolk.
something that the Americans do quite
Do
well.
do.
They do. Egg is a big thing in America, but there's so many different varieties, and I don't really
understand them.
understand what.
I think sunny side up is you don't flip it.
It's regular fried, and then you got sunny side down, which I prefer because I don't like my egg yolk runny because I'm funny with with runny foods.
Yeah.
Then they over easy,
Which I think is they just
only
flip it to
assume-
seal the yolk
Yeah.
and put so the yolk is still
But,
soft,
yeah.
but the actual covering, the fucking membrane is still.
Yeah. See, I
it's
don't like the
hard.
idea of that.
See, Liz does like if that's right. I don't know if it is.
Yeah, no, this
Liz
is
does
the
like
thing.
it. What I would assume Sunnyside over easy is where she flips it to seal the membrane because she likes putting a toast or a chip in it and it popping or a sausage.
Yeah.
She likes the pop. Whereas
But
the
I
yolk
just
runs
assumed
out.
that was sunny
She
side
goes
up.
spare. Well, no, because then the top's not cooked. The top of the actual white isn't cooked, is it? The top of the white is still runny. It's to seal it so it doesn't have the
Okay.
snotty.
Well, maybe an American
texture.
can actually
Yeah, see,
tell
we
us
don't
what
know
it
where
actually is.
But Liz, yeah,
Yeah.
she goes absolutely spare if her yolk gets split when she fries
Oh
it.
yeah, so does Joe.
She will chuck it away and start again
Oh really?
because she has to have it so it pops so she can
Right.
dip
Okay.
sausage in the yolk. It's fucking mental. Whereas I don't like fried egg.
I'm not
I
a
don't
big fan
like
of it.
yolk. I don't
No.
like the flavour of yolk, so I will mix
Right.
it.
I always used to just eat.
That's
the
why I eat
whites.
That's why I eat scrambled, so it's all mixed in.
Yeah.
So the flavour's not so bad. Offal obsession. I don't know what
Offal.
offal is.
Now offal is like tripe, isn't it? It's kind of
What's tripe?
well, it's kind of it's all the bits of the
Oh, organs
beast
and
that you
intestinal
don't really want
delights.
to. Yeah, it's kind of it's all sorts of intestines and things all kind of ground up.
Celeb chef Hugh Fernley Whittinghill says, if it's flavour you're after, you can't beat kidneys, tongue, liver or brain.
See, I don't like kidneys or liver.
I like kidneys in steak and kidney pie.
No, I don't like it. There's something about the irony richness.
Yeah.
The irony taste.
It's got that flavour. It's very, very potent.
Yeah.
You've got haggis here, black or blood pudding. I don't know.
I've never tried it.
I haven't. I don't like the idea of it.
No.
Same with haggis. Scotch eggs.
Lovely.
I love Scotch eggs.
Scotch eggs, an egg crack, a boiled egg
Boiled
in the middle
egg
of a
in
meat.
Pork. It's pork, isn't it?
Yeah, pork patted around the outside of it and then
And
rolled in breadcrumbs. Oh, one of the best things ever.
That's a proper picnic snack, isn't it?
It really is.
That's a buffet snack. Like you get the big Scotch eggs. Actually, they're Scotch eggs, and then you get the mini Scotch eggs, which are picnic eggs, which are the same thing but small. And how we hold a fork.
Really?
Americans are a scoop, aren't they?
Are they?
They're like I imagine, because if I remember rightly from a thing I've heard, a conversation before, they cut everything up, mix it all, and then hold the fork and then scoop food.
Really?
Whereas we prong.
Okay.
Apparently.
Yeah, because I hold it more like a pencil.
Yeah.
Kind of, if you like.
Yeah. So
that's the thing, is it?
Apparently, yeah. So I don't know if this is written by an American, because sometimes it has our obsession with offal, and then they've said we don't do that. So I don't know, but this says, let's face it, we turn a fairly efficient utensil into a complete joke when we product peas with downward-facing tines.
See,
I don't. I scoop peas.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
But as my husband says, it's shaped like that for a reason. It's like using the wrong side of a shovel.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is good for scooping, but
it's whatever is easiest at the time, isn't it? Let's face it.
But like chips and stuff like that, you poke, you use it as a stabber. You stab things with it.
Stabby.
Metal stabby thing. But yeah, I think they scoop mostly everything. I don't know. The thing is, this generalising again.
Exactly. Yeah, I would. Yeah. I mean, when have we ever been known to generalise anything before?
So
but yeah, it's quite interesting, the different cuisines that we have. I mean, there's another thing here, kippers for breakfast. I've never ever had kippers for breakfast, but that is a ostensibly British thing.
I don't know if I've had it for breakfast. And I remember my dad done kippers once, and I tried them. And I actually really liked them, and I haven't had them since for some reason.
And stuff like
they come in like a vacuum packed fucking.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. No, I like kippers, but I've never had them for breakfast.
No,
because that was the Blackadder thing, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
Lord Flashheart.
I'm showing my ignorance here. I love Blackadder, but I can't quote much of it.
Some kippers for breakfast. Woof. And stuff
innuendo.
like beef Wellingtons and things like that. I don't think I've ever had a beef Wellington.
That's like a whole meal in a pastry.
Yeah, thing, yeah. It's effectively a big log of beef. It's a joint of beef wrapped in pastry, served with potatoes. So many carbs.
I think the most important thing we're missing is the fry up.
This is a good. Why haven't we? Yeah,
the British breakfast,
the English breakfast. Yeah,
English. Sorry, fucking
get it right. Scots and Welsh and Irish.
Yeah.
But the best again. It's the best use of bacon that you can have outside of a baguette. You got bacon, you got sausages, you get hash browns.
I'll tell you a good use of bacon.
Yeah.
Wrapped around
asparagus.
Oh, really?
Surprisingly.
No, I was going to say like wrapped around chicken.
Yeah, or a fish.
Or a sausage.
Yeah.
Fucking wrap anything in bacon.
Yeah. Pigs in blankets at Christmas time. They are the best things.
I mean, they're
about
cocktail
Christmas.
sausages.
But you can do it. We do it with proper sausages. We put entire rashers of bacon around whole sausages.
Yeah.
They're great. But yeah, the full English is a trio of sausages, a bunch of bacon, a can or half a can of baked beans, hash brown.
I do like hash
if
brown.
I have one, I'll have.
Usually, if I go to a cafe, actually, no. To be fair, Liz does make hash brown a lot, like at home. She'll make
potato.
If we want to, it's more like a potato rosti than a hash brown when it's finished.
Yeah.
But it is.
It's what is that? It's potato. And
the hash brown is if you want to put more effort. I mean, to be fair, the frozen hash browns, the triangle shaped ones, they're really nice.
Yeah, I love them.
The McDonald's hash brown,
they're good.
Yeah, so you got your sausages, you got your bacon, you got your beans, you got your hash brown. Now the hang up,
Mushrooms.
I think we both recently. I'm a convert to mushrooms. Now the hang up I think we're going to have is the tomato.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of
I'm not
tomato.
A fan of you have to have it with your breakfast.
Yeah.
And
I give mine to Jo, and she normally gives me something that she doesn't like or has too much of.
Liz doesn't like a fried tomato.
Yeah.
She likes tomatoes.
Right.
I will. Push comes to shove, I will cut the tomato and eat it with something. That's how I eat my mushrooms. I eat them with some of the meat.
And a fried egg.
Scrambled egg.
Yeah.
Like I say,
Well,
I
you
don't
can
like
have
fried
scrambled. Yeah. But egg has got to be in there somewhere, though.
But with scrambled egg, you get like more egg for your money. Because scrambled egg, because it reduces so much, they use more eggs.
Yeah, I suppose.
So you get 2 or 3 eggs instead of just 1.
Condensed eggs.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm so hungry now.
I'll go have some bacon.
Yeah. It's probably a good idea. Maybe I will put that pork joint on.
Yeah.
After
So,
all.
yeah, the English breakfast, you can't...
It's the ultimate thing, and if you've never had one, you're missing out, and you need to do it.
It's the ultimate camping, hangover,
Yeah.
lunch,
Yeah.
lazy dinner.
Yeah.
It's a Brinner.
Fucking Brinner for the win.
Yeah.
It's
Brinner
the all-round...
fry up dinner.
It's the all-round champion of meals.
And do you know the best thing about it?
It's all protein.
No, I was going to say
No
I have
carbs.
a Christmas morning tradition.
Oh, really?
Fry up on a Christmas morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Meh.
You know, we open a presents,
To
we have
be
a fry
fair,
up.
any morning. If I could have a fried breakfast every morning, I would be a happy man.
You'd have to have a pantry or a fridge.
Yeah.
Just a fridge just for your fry up. Like
Yeah.
your sausages, your bacon,
This is
everything.
my fry up fridge.
It'd have to be one of the chest freezers
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, but if I could, I would every single day.
I would, but you know, I've got my...
Heart to worry about.
Well, with that... and my digestive situation.
Yeah.
Lots of greasy meat ain't good for your digestion.
Yeah.
Apparently it clogs up your...
Everything.
Yeah, the arteries.
Yeah.
All the meat compacts, doesn't it? 'Cause
Yeah. It's not
takes
good.
a long time to digest.
But we don't want to think about that because it tastes so good.
Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
My favourite quote, if you're upset about the mere mention of eating all these animals, it comes actually from Coronation Street, from the butcher Fred.
Really?
If God had intended us to be vegetarians, he would have made the animals run faster. Get some meat in you.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of vegetarianism.
No. Well,
It's
I've
fine.
not got
Each to
issue
their
with
own,
it.
but I couldn't live a life without meat.
Bacon. Just bacon. I couldn't
Yeah.
live a life without bacon. I could
Steak.
probably forgo... Gammon
Yeah.
with a pineapple.
Yeah, not an
And
egg.
gammon is what Americans call ham.
Yep. Yeah,
But we have
it's
sliced gammon.
thickly cut gammon.
Yes. We're going to go eat now, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, if you've enjoyed this and we made you... If you've got any...
I can hopefully
foods that
we've
we've
made
missed.
you really hungry. Yeah,
Or if you're American and you've got any foods that you think we should have.
yeah. We want to
Like,
know. I mean,
like
effectively.
Girl Scout cookies that somebody was going to send me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You never.
But,
got
you know,
those.
import food is a bit...
Yeah, it's dodgy, isn't it?
Especially dairy.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, let us know what it is that we might be missing out on. If there's anything for our British listeners, especially that we've forgotten that you
I'm so hungry.
that you have that you miss from your childhood,
Yeah.
or that you still enjoy.
Yes.
Sorry, I've put myself.
Freddo
on.
bars.
Yeah, yeah.
Caramel Freddo.
Then again, email us at abhpod@gmail.com. Get in touch with us at abhpod on
Yes.
Twitter, or get in touch with us on Facebook.
Yes. Search for us. Find us.
Yeah.
Do it.
And let us know what we've missed, what we're missing.
Yes. And if you'd like to fund our snacking habits, don't forget to go to Amazon, abhpod.com, and click on the Amazon banner and do any shopping that you need to do on
You
Amazon.
can buy all these food products on there, I'm sure.
Be like Robbie Polanco, who doesn't mind waiting months for a CD
Yeah,
because he
it's
wants to
ridiculous.
support us.
He's
He ordered a CD. I can't imagine it'd get there for another couple of weeks.
Good on you, Robbie.
Good man. Got the patience of a saint.
He does. And the listening habits of someone who never sleeps and doesn't work.
Yeah. I'm sure he's listening to everything on 2 times speed.
Yeah.
I tried 1.5 and it's just too rushed.
It's weird, isn't it?
I think 1 1/3 would do it.
But for Anywhere But Here this week, I've been Tom.
And I've been Ant.
Go eat and be merry.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.